So this brings us by and large to an end of a very important exchange that we've had today. Now I do believe that many of you must have gone around and seen the applications in the second session as well, and I do hope our guests from VJTI also have gone around and seen some of the applications. I must echo very warmly what Professor Chandrasekhar said, that even though I have been teaching the class for close to a semester now, I personally am also very impressed. I didn't expect such a good set of application presentations. So I think that's something to definitely, it's very clear that a lot of hard work and a lot of thought has gone into the application presentations, and I personally am very pleasantly surprised. And in fact, I was a little worried what one would show to the guests from VJTI, but I'm rather pleased that we could put up something that is very educative. And I believe that there are, in fact, what I was happy to see is that wavelets have been used very innovatively in a very wide range of applications, and also that many nuances about the use of time frequency methods, filter banks or wavelets have been brought out very clearly in the application. That is something which is a second level of accomplishment. Now, to take things further from here, we again recognize that wavelets is a name given to one class of methods to address a more fundamental issue, namely the fundamental conflict that exists between the natural domain and the frequency domain. Wavelets are not the solution to all issues that arise from this conflict. In fact, many of you in your application saw that there are certain ways in which wavelets succeed and certain ways in which wavelets don't succeed, and that is true typically of any scientific endeavor. There is, I have not known of an engineering technique which is universally useful. There are always certain limitations, there are always, but when one recognizes the underlying principle or the underlying fundamental concept which drives a class of approaches, then one can also think of other approaches. And what one must take away from here is both the innovative ways in which one could go around this conflict by using wavelets, and also to realize that one needs to do more than just use wavelets everywhere by trying to innovate upon the approaches to dealing with the time frequency conflict. That's more fundamental, whether it's in one dimension or two dimensions. It's a fundamental issue in signal processing and communication, and one needs to deal with it effectively and creatively, and many of you have done that. Now that's a negative way of looking at it, that there is something that limits you and you need to get around it. The positive way of looking at it is that wavelets actually allow you to work in two domains at once, or time frequency methods allow you to work in two domains at once, which you need to do very often in signal processing, and you've seen how it can be done with a lot of effectiveness. And I do encourage you to look at many more applications in the future. Is that right? So as far as the formal conclusion is done, we will conclude here, but we will, of course, I will complete the formalities of taking attendance and so on as yet, and you will also complete your formalities of looking at the groups that are left, right? And so don't go away, complete those things, and then only then please depart from here. But I would like to take a couple of, I would like to invite the VJTI guests, maybe a couple of them who would like to express what they have experienced in this workshop, and to share anything that they would like to, any of you who would like to sort of narrate to us how your experience, what your experience has been, what you have learned from here. So you can be very frank, you don't have to be very formal. You can, and you can also speak in any of the three languages, well, two languages at least, English and Hindi. That's fine, right? So, yeah, would some of you like to come and talk about what you've learned from here? You must introduce yourself and then come and share what you've learned and what you're going to take away from here.
So my name is Pramod, and I have been to IIT previously for some other works. I've been working in audio labs for a project under Pandey sir. So there was a project on wavelets where I took a help from sir. So this in this whole presentation and all, I saw a project called as endpoint detection. I think they have got my point. So that project was the one which was the first starting point where I started my speech processing. So there are other projects like OCR, then one was white space detection. These are the fundamental things that we use in main kind of projects or building the different kind of applications. So these are the things which obviously I know because some of the professors in the IIT or some of the professors in my own college, they have helped me and helped me out how to code these things, how to understand this thing. But whenever I'm starting a new thing or I'm working in a new area, these are the things that I need to know or I don't know what to start with. So these are the like opportunity to give people who are starting in a new area or starting a new research. This is a good opportunity which I didn't get at my time, and this is the one I attended, which is I think it's a good thing that I see the codes, the different applications, quite similar ones, but it's okay. Thanks. Yeah, I'm in masters in VJTI and in electronics and telecommunication department. And specialization is not such, but my area of interest is speech and signal processing and machine learning. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Pramod. That was very illuminative, very interesting. Would we invite some other guests to speak? What you've learned? Yeah, you want to say something? Yeah. Yeah, come. Yeah, you can come from there. No problem.
Hello everyone, my name is Shivraj Rathod. I am MTech Electronics student from VJTI. Actually, this is the second time we are in IIT Bombay. Last time with Professor Gadre sir invited for the Research Scholar Alumni Symposium, and this is the second time we are coming for the wavelet application workshop. So actually we don't have the background of image processing, still we understand some concept regarding wavelets and some new applications of wavelets. Actually, we have gone through the some examination schedule in our college. Still, we come to the IIT Bombay with the help of Rahul Ingle sir and our department HOD, Mrs. Pamse ma'am. So, I like to thank Professor Gadre sir and Rahul Ingle sir for this cooperation, and we will enjoy lots of new application in all the first and second session. So, thanks to all the students from the IIT Bombay also. Thank you.
So, thank you, Shivraj. Very nice. Any other participant would like to share? Anybody else from VJTI would like to say something? You can also tell us what you learned from the sessions and what you are going to carry away, what are the new things you learned, or what are the new ideas you got by looking at the applications, or any other comments that you have or suggestions. Maybe we should. So, Professor Rahul, would you like to say something, or you can ask your participants if they wish to. Some of
Myself Rahul Ingre, faculty member in the Department of Electrical Engineering. First of all, I would like to thank Professor Gadre for organizing such a beautiful event. And many of our students was interested to come, but because of our busy schedule, they are unable to come in this workshop. But still, 19 people were come. I also thanks the organizers of the VJTI, those who have taken a pain for arranging this workshop, as well as all the faculty members who directly or indirectly involved in such workshops. And I hope कि in future also they will do such joint activities between VJTI and the IIT Bombay. And I will expect कि next time the activity should be held in the VJTI itself, so that everyone will get chance to know about the VJTI. I would like to tell you something about the VJTI. VJTI, formerly called as the Victoria Jubilee Technological Institute, established in 1887. It was fifth oldest engineering institution in Asia, and in 1997, when Shiv Sena came in as a ruling party, that time the name has been changed to Veer Mata Jizabai Technological Institute. Still, it's a VJTI. So we are one of the oldest institute in the Asia. So we also feel proud. But as far as the IIT concerned, IIT part concerned, we are lagging in the technology, and we want to fill this gap through such workshops. So thanks a lot, sir, for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Professor Rahul, and we are also grateful that you took the trouble to bring your participants here, convince them to come in spite of, I know even our participants have examinations, and I'm sure they're also, it must not be too far from the exam, but still many people have turned up. Would any other participant like to say something? All right. We can probably we can allow one or two IIT student or people to say something if they wish to. There's somebody who wishes to. Otherwise there's a large number. So, would you like to say what you learned from? Anybody like to come forward and speak? I told you all of you have it in you to be film heroes. I mean, heroes or heroines, and this is one occasion when you can exercise that talent. No, nobody wishes to. They're all very nervous because it's also anyway, it doesn't matter. So, well, in that case, let's formally conclude this. Although we'll, as I said, just complete whatever formalities are left after this recording. But it's important for you to carry away from here not only the technology which Professor Rahul mentioned, but also the pedagogical angle. How such a workshop or how such interaction helps learn ideas better. It's also important for all of us to carry away from here, whether we are from IIT Bombay or from VJTI, the process of peer learning, cooperative learning. You see, any subject is in the current scenario too vast for one person to understand completely. So, when many people look at different aspects of a subject, and different aspects is the key word. Many people look at different aspects of a subject and then bring forth to the table their understanding of the different aspects. The collective learning is much more than the individual learning that takes place from each person's individual efforts. That is the central idea in a classroom experience. Very often we argue that we can always read up something from a book. That's correct. We can read up things from a book. We can read up things from static sources. But what is learned in a collective live environment is much more than just these specific facts or derivations or principles that are presented. What is also learned is a process of learning, a process of understanding a subject, which is much more subtle. It's not easy to capture that in words. I believe all of you would understand what I'm saying without my having to explain this in much greater detail. Is that right? All right. So, with that then we'll conclude the session formally, and we hope that you should continue to build on your knowledge of the subject even further. And of course, we have a class on Tuesday. Thank you.